In this video, I'm going to show you one of the best exercises for over 40s who want to get strong, fit, and lean without going to the gym. I'm talking about the kettlebell snatch. It's one of the most powerful exercises on planet Earth. You don't need a gym for this. You only need a kettlebell, and it takes care of everything: strength, muscle, coordination, endurance. It's that full body package that you must include into your workout routine if you want to change your life, change your physique, and if you say, no, life is not over after 40. And if you're over 40 and you want to become strong, fit, and lean without going to the gym twice as fast, then download my free ebook in the first link in the description. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe hier. Science even states that the kettlebell snatch engages every single muscle group that you have in your body. Your body's working like crazy, which means we get a lot of return on investment in times of effort and time. You see, life happens for all of us, especially for over 40s. And if you want to put in the work, you want to get a lot back. I don't know about you, but I don't want to waste my time with exercises that don't give my body everything it needs to become stronger, fitter, and leaner. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to one of the best exercises that you must include into your routine. First things first, watch the exercise in motion. There's a couple of things happening with the exercise. We're hinging. We're using a pendulum leg action to use the strength from the legs. We catapult the kettlebell overhead with a straight arm. We fixate it overhead, and when we drop it back down, we use leverage from our upper body to reconnect as fast as possible, go back into the backswing, and then throw our whole body into the exercise. Step one that we have to learn is the hinge. Go grab a stick, connect it with your hip, your upper back, and the back of your skull. And now push your hips back and make sure that the stick does not lose contact with these 3 points. Hinging means pushing the hips back, the upper body leaning forward. Now I feel some tension in my hamstrings and I keep my spine straight. Once I get a feeling for the exercise, I try the hinge without the stick. And one image that I always visualize is a ski jumper getting ready to jump. Move number 2 that we now want to learn is the deadlift. So we use the hinge and we load it with a bell. One powerful cue that we always give our clients to engage the biggest muscles that we have, which is the glutes and the hamstrings, is to imagine you're crushing grapes as you reach the top position. So I'm pushing the floor down and I push the hips into the handle of the kettlebell. If we understand the hinge as well as the deadlift, now follows move number 3, the pendulum. The pendulum looks like this. We use the pendulum to absorb the impact of the weight and give our body the best position to stomp the feet into the floor, crushing grapes, using the strongest muscles of our body, the legs, to catapult the weight overhead as I transfer the energy from the body and from the legs into the arms like this. The snatch is not an arm dominant movement, but a hip and midsection dominant exercise, which is one of the USPs of kettlebell training. The pendulum in practice works like this. I shift my knees forward by dipping. I push the hips back and straighten or lock the knees. Then I dip again by pushing the knees back forward, and then I stand up. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Dip, lock, dip, stand up. Dip, lock, dip, stand up. Once I've practiced the pendulum, I now move to step number 4, which is the pendulum swing. We do this to solidify the exercise with the weight. Watch. Moving on with step number 5, we now go into the upper body to understand how we can fixate the kettlebell overhead. What is required is a so-called hand insertion. This means I have to understand how to grab the kettlebell in a position so that it doesn't burn my muscle, but that it stacked solid on my frame. And for this, we learn an exercise that's called the clean. The first exercise that I'm using is an assistant exercise, a supplement that I call the assisted clean. Watch. A hand insertion looks like this. My full wrist is inside the kettlebell window. My forearm bone connects with the lower horn of the kettlebell, and my web space connects with the upper corner of the kettlebell. Now I can close my fingers into a fist, and this is how I rack the kettlebell on my frame. Once I've gotten comfortable with the positioning thanks to the assisted clean, I now move to the clean. The clean also involves one powerful maneuver that I need in the snatch as well, and that is the corkscrew. Turning the palm towards me, extending the forearm just a little bit, making sure that my elbow is not too far away from my body, but I need to give it a little bit of a twist so I can get into that swing and ballistic motion again. And if you have been observing correctly, you see that I'm already engaging into the pendulum. Watch. And just in case if you're wondering what kind of kettlebell I'm using, it's the Pro Kettlebell by my friend Nikolais, proudly made in the USA. There's 5 things that I love about the Pro Kettlebell. Number 1, the contoured arm pockets that fit well on the clean as well as with the snatch. This means beginners will feel right at home and professionals can get rid of their calluses on their forearms. The second thing I love is the high quality texture finish on the handle, which doesn't turn your hands into hamburger meat when you do lots of swings and ballistics in general. And this also means that you don't have to use a lot of chalk. Number 3 is the ergonomics. The Pro Kettlebell is a little bit smaller than the standard competition kettlebells, which means the weight sits closer to your center of mass. You feel it in the rack position, and you get that immediate superflow feeling when you engage into the ballistics. Number 4 is the wide hollow core base, which makes it a safe option if you do kettlebell exercises on the floor, such as a handle push-up. Number 5 is the second grip because of the wide hollow core base, which lets you do curls and presses and exercises that you can't do with other kettlebells. There are even more benefits, such as a safe option of a magnetic weight chip that you can add inside the hollow core base of your kettlebell and make it heavier. Check the link in the description to get your Pro Kettlebell right now. And don't forget to use our code Lebe to get 10% off your next purchase. Move number 6 is a press. We have to understand what a lockout position really feels like, because once the kettlebell is overhead, I have to keep my elbow fully extended, uncouple the shoulder from the elbow by pulling the shoulder blades down, while still making sure that the elbow stays extended. And I can learn this with a press. One of the key metrics in the press is making sure that the elbow stays extended, but also that the biceps is close to the ear. I'm not moving far away from the body, but I want to stay in my center line as close as possible so that I am not wasting energy by engaging into unnecessary effort. Move number 7 is the half snatch. We now want to focus on the upward phase of the lift without having to focus on the amortization dropping it back down, because both are fairly complex to learn. And we always want to focus on one thing first. The half snatch looks like this. As I am slinging the kettlebell overhead by engaging into the pendulum, pushing the legs into the floor, I keep the arms straight because we say as the elbow bends on the way up, the power ends. And then I lean back a little bit and pull my shoulders just a little bit like I want to open up a fridge. And now I drop the bell into the rack position and try again. And with step number 8, we finalize the snatch. As I drop the kettlebell back down, I use the corkscrew maneuver from the clean, pull the elbow close to the body, let the arm drop, and reconnect with the body as soon as possible, engaging into the pendulum. Watch. One of the major mistakes that people make is crash landing the kettlebell on the forearm. Mitigate this by closing the distance between the kettlebell and your body by leaning back a little bit. Also, once the kettlebell leaves the knees in the backswing, you open up the grip by loosening the thumb, and then once the kettlebell approximately reaches that position, you switch and jump into the kettlebell window as deep as possible. You don't let it slide on your palm. You want to jump back and forth. So we want to avoid this by making sure I don't slide on the palm, but I'm using leverage, opening up the thumbs, and then boom. Switching, jumping, spearing the kettlebell by sliding my wrist inside the window. And this is it. One of the most powerful exercises that you can do on planet Earth. It gives you so much bang for your buck, it's not even funny. Yes, it is a skill-based exercise, but you also get paid lots of dividends. You have to invest a little bit of skill, a little bit of time. You want to learn it. But once you got it down pat, it's going to replace almost everything that you do. It's got strength endurance, it's got endurance, it got muscle, it's got explosiveness, strength, everything encapsulated in one powerful exercise while not leaving any stone unturned when it comes to your muscle. Every muscle is firing, and this is exactly what the body wants. That's why we get so much ROI. Here's the next thing that you have to do. Clean and press that like and subscribe button. Share with a friend who's also interested in kettlebells, and if you made it this far, download my free ebook in the first link in the description called the Kettlebell Code. If you're over 40, 50, or 60, you don't have a lot of time, but you still want to take care of your fitness, this is where the kettlebell comes in. I've shown you one of the best exercises that you can do with a kettlebell. I told you it replaces a gym. It replaces so many things. Yes, it requires a little bit of skill, and this is what I'm going to teach you in my ebook. So download it right now. It's 100% free in the first link in the description.